Power on Earth 2147. The legacy of the Metal Wars, when man fought machine and machines won. Biodreads, monstrous creations that hunt down human survivors and digitize them. Volcania, center of the Biodread Empire, stronghold and fortress of Lord Dread, feared ruler of this new order. But from the fires of the Metal Wars arose a new breed of warrior, born and trained to bring down Lord Dread and his Biodread Empire. They were soldiers of the future, mankind's last hope. Their leader, Captain Jonathan Power, master of the incredible power suits which transform each soldier into a one-man attack force. Major Matthew Hank Masterson, fighter in the sky. Lieutenant Michael Tank Ellis, ground assault unit. Sergeant Robert Scout Baker, espionage and communications. And Corporal Jennifer Pilot Chase, tactical systems expert. Together they form the most powerful fighting force in Earth's history. Their creed, to protect all life. Their promise, to end Lord Dread's rule. Their name, Captain Power and the Soldiers of the Future. How you doing?
I'm good. I guess I don't need to ask what that's from, since you just said. But,
You still don't know what it is, do you?
I'm guessing.
I barely know what it is.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Is that real, or is that like one of those joke cartoons that you see? Okay, so that's a real cartoon?
Oh no, it's real. It's not a cartoon.
Is this from the 80s?
Yes, actually, the late 80s. It's an early example of dystopian cyberpunk on TV.
That's crazy. Was it a kid's show?
Ostensibly for children.
Okay, ostensibly. So I'm guessing some really messed up stuff happens.
It got canceled because they didn't want it to get even darker, which basically means that it was left at the darkest possible point because it was the season ender.
Dang.
They had a season 2 planned, but they didn't get to make it. I probably won't watch it because I don't like watching things that don't have endings.
That's fair.
I watched Wander Over Yonder. That had a 3rd season planned, but they had enough notice that they were able to make an ending. So it's like, that counts. That's good.
Oh yeah, my wife and I just finished watching that show, Life on Mars. I think I told you about it. It's one I think you've decided you were going to watch, so I'm not going to spoil it. But
you can't spoil it now.
No, I'm not going to spoil it. But there was basically, from what I read, they were actually hoping to get 2 seasons, but it was kind of that situation where they ended up getting told that they were not getting a 2nd season, so they instead kind of wrapped it up in the 1st season. And knowing that, if you see how it ends, knowing that, you would think that that was like an incredibly rushed ending. I don't know, it's hard to say too much, but basically, know this. When you watch it, the ending you get was apparently the ending they always intended. And if you actually watch the show knowing how it ends, they put a lot of hints in there that, I don't know. I guess this doesn't matter.
You can't really complain, can you?
Oh no, I'm not complaining at all. I'm just saying it's kind of another one of those interesting times when it's like, you know, they wrapped it up quicker than they had to, but apparently the ending they gave was still the ending they had planned all along. Yeah. I don't know. It's going to be a fun one to discuss when or if you ever watch that show.
It'll be a while. I have to cut down because of finances. I have to buy less things for the time being because I'm not going to have as much extra money. So, but on the meantime, I still have 32 shows on my shelf that I haven't watched yet. So I keep myself busy.
All right.
Sometimes you just gotta eat things. And other times, you get the ending you like. It's a rushed ending, and other times it's the same ending. But it's just you just don't like the ending at that point.
It's just like life.
It's not because the ending is bad. It's just because the ending sucks.
You mean just because it sucks that it ended at all?
No.
Oh. All right. Well, anyways, as I told you, I have a topic picked out for this week. I have not told you what that topic is.
I better not be the Kingdom Hearts one.
Well, you're out of luck then, because it is the Kingdom Hearts one. I'm sending you a document right now that I think you will appreciate having access to.
No. Why? Oh, no, my phone.
Too late to back out now. You should have pulled the plug a long time ago. I have spent an inordinate number of hours putting together this note sheet. It's 20 pages. 20 pages of notes. It's the entire Kingdom Hearts series. Come on, it'll be fun.
I video on top.
Your whining is cutting out the.
It's very accurate, except for.
You're cutting out. I don't know what you're saying, but I think it's the universe telling you to just accept your fate.
It might be the universe saying, get out now.
Are you really that against doing this?
I don't know. I just don't know. I feel like the problem is that it's like if we do this, can't have discourse.
Oh, we absolutely can. You will have plenty of places to make commentary on what's happening. That's where all the comedy's going to come from. I'm going to describe this all as straightly as possible, and you're going to probably stop me every few seconds to explain something. Let's just see how it goes. You know, we're not getting through it all in one episode anyways, so if this first episode really goes that bad...
Oh, this is 2 episodes?
It's at least 3, probably.
Oh,
it's 20 pages.
No. We're not doing 3 episodes. There's no way that takes you 3 episodes to get...
Well, it might if we don't get started. We'll just see how it goes.
How long does it take you to read 20 pages?
So, I don't know. It's because I'm not... It's not actually... It's 20 pages of notes. I don't know. Let's just... This will be fun. Come on, you picked the last few topics. I think it's my turn. The last episode we recorded, put me in the mood to talk about Kingdom Hearts. So.
Oh, so this is my fault. No, wait, this is my family's fault because they interrupted the recording and I had to leave you on the microphone by yourself for a while.
Oh, there you go. Alright, well, let's just see how this goes. Come on. Be open-minded.
Oh, you lied. It's only 19 pages. Oh, there's the 20th.
I never lie. Alright, anyways, so yeah, I'm just gonna go through...
Here. In the secret episode, Sora's trapped in the final world, where he meets...
Hey, no. Do not take this out of order.
Rex,
hey, stop.
Story world.
No, you need to stop. Listen.
It's already out of order.
Listen to me. The way I'm going to record this, I'm not going to put spoiler tags up just because, you know, we're talking about Kingdom Hearts. You can expect Kingdom Hearts spoilers, but I'm more or less going to talk about them in order of release, so that if someone listening to this say they want to hear what we say but don't want Kingdom Hearts 3 spoiled for them, they can just feel comfortable listening up to that point. Does that make sense?
Zora freezes Sora in a crystal.
Alright, well, you just spoiled the entire game. Alright, spoiler tag goes up.
Oh, that was the entire game?
Yeah, you just spoiled the ending of Kingdom Hearts 3, and that was like a big twist ending, too,
That's
so...
the ending? That's the ending?
You are the absolute worst. Come back to the top.
Hey, you're the...
Come back to the top.
No.
Okay, so I'm gonna just put a note. Spoiler tag.
No, this is the Kingdom Hearts podcast. That means that the spoilers for Kingdom Hearts are assumed.
Yeah, but I was gonna try to take it in order.
I'm sorry, how is that how it ends? The game just ends and that's just like, oh, it sucks for you. Goodbye,
well, if you let me actually get to that point, I could explain it better. I had this all planned out, and you're the worst. Alright, are we doing this, or do I just need to cut the recording now? Are you really that against it?
No, it's fine. I knew this day would come eventually.
Yeah, and say, you're gonna get your day when you get to explain something to me, and I just sit here trying to stay awake.
Oh, no, I'll get my revenge. Join me for episode 50, where I sing the entirety of Albuquerque.
I'm pretty sure we'd get copyright strikes for that one.
No.
Alright, anyways.
Sing it, it's not going to pick it up because there won't be any music.
Alright, so anyways, let's just start at the top here. So, technically, this isn't chronological order. I'm going by more or less the release order of the games, because that makes a lot more sense.
Does it?
It kind of does.
Would the chronological order make more sense?
Well, let's just put it this way. Things start off relatively simple. If you started with the prequel content without any context of what was happening before, your head would probably explode. So, yes, the prequel content gets inordinate. Okay, a good chunk of time I spent. If you scroll down a little bit, just don't read anything yet, but just look at how many pages are written about Kingdom Hearts Cross. That's
all right. Okay,
that's a prequel content. That's the one. That's not even all of it. I had to condense it down because we'll get to that. Anyways, let's start at the beginning. So the game, it all starts with the first Kingdom Hearts game, right? And
yes.
So overall, it's basically a crossover between Final Fantasy and Disney, right? And it's actually relatively simple. It's basically just a standard fairy tale story with a, good versus evil plot, follow your heart, friendship, all that kind of stuff. Has tropes from Disney movies
and ice
and
cream.
Yes, well, no, that's not in this one. Ice cream comes
that's
later.
Not till later. Sorry.
That's not till later. That's a big spoiler. You ruined it.
That's
No,
not a spoiler.
No, I'm kidding. All right, so yeah, whatever. I'll just say expect spoilers for the whole series because it's probably going to jump around a bit. Anyways,
Just put it in the description.
Yeah, we'll just put whatever. First game in this. This is the. I just realized I put first game in the game. That's supposed to say series. First game in the series.
First game in the game. First game in the series, but chronologically after BBS and Unicron X.
Birth by Sleep and Union Cross. Anyways, so you play as Sora, right? It begins in Destiny Islands, which is Sora's homeworld, right?
Play a spiky-haired anime protagonist.
Yeah, with big old banana shoes. And so basically, the game starts off. You start with a dive into the heart, which is this trippy dream sequence where you are on giant glass panels, and you have to choose whether you want the sword, the wand, or the shield, and then do some other stuff. It basically just serves as your character creation, since it is an RPG. You choose which stats you want to be your strongest, all that stuff. You do the tutorial sequence. Yes.
Does the plot involve a simple boy in a simple town that gets destroyed by an evil, and then he's the chosen one?
Yes, except it's an island, not technically a town. Excuse me. Anyways, so
you RPG, and I figured it's probably
yeah. Well, you're cutting out again, so I think that's my cue to just keep going. So Sora wakes up the next morning, and him and his friends build a raft over the next couple of days. They want to leave the island to go explore other worlds, and probably die horribly, because the only food they pack for the entire trip is 1 egg, a coconut, and 1 bottle of water. But luckily, before they're able to... they get interrupted before they get to leave on their raft. But while exploring the island, Sora finds a mysterious door in a cave, and a weird hooded figure tells him this world has been connected. And later, no, it's not. Well, kind of. It's later revealed to be Ansem, but Ansem is then later. Really? Yeah, basically, he's one of the.
One of the Ansem, not Xenonor, but another one. He is young Xenonor, but he calls himself Xeno Douglas or something.
Not quite. You're not too far off, though. Basically, put it this way: anyone in the game that isn't Sora is probably Xehanort. That's a gross over-exaggeration.
Oh! Wait, is his name not pronounced Xenonort?
It's Xehanort. But that doesn't even matter yet. Xehanort doesn't actually appear until the next game, so don't worry about him too much yet. Anyways, the island gets attacked by the Heartless. What?
Is he the Master?
Master Xehanort? Kinda. He's basically the big mastermind behind everything.
The Master is also Xehanort.
Oh no, the Master is someone else. What the hell are you doing reading that far ahead? The Master is someone else.
I'm not reading that far ahead. I'm drawing upon my very limited and fragmented knowledge of Kingdom Hearts that I've absorbed all over the years.
Well, there's technically a lot of people who are called Master, so I'm not sure which one you're referring to. Anyways, the next night, the island gets attacked by darkness and the Heartless and stuff, and Sora suddenly gets the Keyblade, and he finds that that's the only weapon that he can fight the Heartless with. He fights his way to the door, finds Kairi. The door explodes open, and Kairi flies into Sora and disappears, and Sora gets blasted out of the cave. Alright, and then meanwhile, in Disney Town, Donald Duck and Goofy find that Mickey Mouse is missing. Yes, we're in the same game. Yeah. As you know, yeah. So he left behind a note basically saying that stars are disappearing from the sky, and that means the worlds are in trouble, because each star is actually a different world that's falling to darkness.
It's like Mario RPG.
Kind of. Also, you might need to get closer to your mic. You sound kind of quiet.
Well, I mean, I backed away intentionally because I was eating some chicken.
Oh, well, that's appreciated then. Oh, yeah, and then, so, basically, Mickey tells Donald and Goofy they have to go find the key.
Closer if you want.
That's fine, yeah. Sure. Donald and Goofy, they have to go find the key, right? And follow the key. So they hop into the gummy ship and head to Traverse Town, where they find Leon, who is a character from Final Fantasy VIII. Also, Jiminy Cricket is there. He keeps a journal throughout all the games.
What the heck is in store? Then Destiny Islands blows up from the wars of the Heartless little evil guys that run on all fours.
Where did you hear that?
Oh, you don't know about the simple plot of Kingdom Hearts?
I guess I need to watch that. Anyways, Sora wakes up in Traverse Town, fights more Heartless. What now?
What? No, you keep going.
Okay, well, he meets Leon, right? And
Sure.
Sora, Leon tells
Kingdom
him,
Hearts 8, man.
yeah, Final Fantasy 8, man. But Sora won't go with him willingly, so they fight.
These are different.
What? Oh yeah, no, they're different. Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts are not on the same timeline. But
Sure.
they have a brief fight. Whether or not you win, Sora collapses from exhaustion. You know, there's probably way more detail than we need to go into. Long story short, him and Donald
come into this.
The what?
When does Tangled come into this?
That's not until the later game. But in this one, yeah, they he basically ends. Basically, Leon and the other Final Fantasy characters just tell him that, you know, you need to use the Keyblade to seal away the keyholes for each world to keep the Heartless from getting to it. He meets up with Donald and Goofy. They fight a big Heartless monster, and then they head out into the kingdom, into the Disney worlds, and hijinks ensue. Sora is looking for Riku and Kairi. Donald and Goofy are looking for Mickey, and along the way, they're going to seal all the keyholes. Yeah, and throughout all your missions in the Disney world, you get kind of glimpses of Maleficent leading a rogues gallery of Disney villains who are seeking the Princesses of Heart, which you need to unlock the door to Kingdom Hearts so they can take over the universe or something. Make sense? You following? I think I lost him.
So I'm looking for Riku. Well, I'm out on my quest. Do I know him? He's my best friend. #was. Well, actually, he's evil. It was just a facade. Now he's my arch enemy.
Yeah, Riku turns into a real dick later. So basically,
yeah, we are traveling to Hollow. How's this? I don't remember how that really goes. Run into Riku. Oh no, possessed by Intamin. So he's after Princess Kairi, and then I really tried to be a hero, so I died to free his heart that's deep inside of me.
Yeah, we're getting all that. But yeah, so the Disney worlds you visit in this one, you go to Deep Jungle from Tarzan, Wonderland from Alice in Wonderland, Olympus Coliseum from Hercules, Monstro, which is the whale from Pinocchio. You get swallowed by him.
It's also the whale. Wait, no, that's a spoiler for a different franchise. Don't ignore me.
I will do that. You go to the 100 Acre Wood, which is kind of just more like a mini game place, but you meet Winnie the Pooh inside of a book.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
You go to Agrabah from Milan. What? Winnie the Pooh? Well, you see his book. He lives. They live in a book. Here? Well, he lives in a book. Him and his friends all live in a book, and the pages get scattered by the Heartless or something. So you have to find them and rebuild the book. I don't know. It's basically just like a place you can go and do little mini games.
You don't get to go or something. You're the lore expert. You have to explain it all.
Well, I'm trying to condense it down as much as possible. You were already about to pull the plug on me on this one. Yeah, well, the darkness...
I can't pull the plug. We're already here.
Well, that's exactly what happened. The darkness scattered the pages. Their book got damaged, and the book pages got scattered across the worlds. You have to find them, put the book back together, and you make friends with Winnie the Pooh and all his friends. That's kind of the gist of it.
So what you're telling me is that Kingdom Hearts is actually just a rip-off of Mario and Luigi paper...
No, Kingdom Hearts came first, so...
Mario and Luigi Paper Jam!
Yeah, that game came way...
Paper Jam!
Well, that came way after Kingdom Hearts, so they actually stole it from Kingdom Hearts.
Well, no, Mario existed before Kingdom Hearts, and the franchise travels retroactively, so from a certain point of view, the game actually came beforehand.
I'm ignoring you. You go to Agrabah, you go to Neverland, you go to Halloween Town. And then Sora finds Riku. They run into him on Captain Hook's ship at one point. He's turning into more and more of a dick. Oh yeah, you also run into him at Monstro at some point, but he's basically progressively becoming more of a dick because Maleficent basically told him that Sora abandoned him and Kairi for his new friends and that he doesn't care about them. And Riku gives himself the darkness. No, that's not them. Riku finds Kairi. Yeah, Riku eventually finds Kairi, but her heart is missing, so she's in a coma. Sora confronts him on Captain Hook's ship.
So that's what happens when my heart gets ripped out of my body. I just fall asleep.
Yeah, I guess something I should have said up front is the hearts in Kingdom Hearts are not, like, when they talk about hearts, they're not referring to the organ. A better word for it would be probably soul.
Soul or something.
Yeah, like their soul or their essence. I don't know. Ultimately, you reach Hollow Bastion, which is the ruins of the Final Fantasy characters' world, and where Ansem the Wise came from. I forgot to mention the Final Fantasy members mentioned that the king of their world was Ansem the Wise, and he was doing research on the Heartless before he disappeared mysteriously. Riku pulls a dick move and steals a Keyblade from you and says that it was supposed to be his all along, which is actually true. You will come to find later.
Riku the Sora, but the separate digital Sora, or does that not happen?
No, that's something else entirely. Riku is
this guy is also Sora, but there's like at least 3 or 4 Soras, right?
Kinda, yeah, there's the Sordas.
The Sordas?
Yeah, Riku is not one of the Sordas.
Is that really what they're called?
No, it is not really what they're called. But Riku is actually his friend. He's the one with the gray hair, spiky gray hair that, well, yeah. Spiky gray hair, wears like a yellow tank top in the first game. He's a different person. But yeah, he steals a Keyblade. Donald and Goofy also are dicks, and they follow the key as they are told, so they go with Riku and leave Sora. Riku then reveals that he's not actually Riku. Oh wait, I skipped something. Wait, what now?
I can't believe that Donnie and Goku don't pay us like that.
Yeah, I know. I can't believe they did that. That's such a dick move. Riku runs away. A cloaked figure from the beginning, the weird hooded dude, who, yes, is Ansem, convinces Riku to fully embrace the darkness. And then Sora and his friends fight Maleficent. And then Riku shows up and sticks his new Keyblade into Maleficent's chest, because he gets a Keyblade from that. And then, turns her into Dragon Maleficent. They fight again. And then they meet the Princesses of Heart, who are basically the 6 most iconic Disney princesses, and Kairi. And this is getting
Kairi.
stupid.
Okay.
But yeah, so yeah, they're the Princesses of Heart.
I mean, it's getting.
I don't know.
So I turned into a heart from the black by Kairi's powers. We escaped to the end of the world, a place that's fairly dour, and some followed us there because this plant finally starts to flower as Kingdom Hearts appears, making I can't rap that fast.
Well, it sounds like you could just take over. You could take it from here.
What is Kingdom Hearts?
Here, you know what? Let's take a.
This song only covers the first game. There's 13 more games.
Well, here's a fun part. Here, you know what? I got an idea. Here, you pick up where I left off. Scroll down on the notes. Scroll down on the notes and see where I left my cursor.
Where?
I want you to pick up from here. Follow my notes and tell the story from here.
Okay, should I
start
explain
up here,
this
actually.
All right, so should I explain this as a Tony? No, hold on. Tony J-esque storyteller, a la Treasure Planet, or a crazy conspiracy theory, a la that one scene that everyone has seen from It's Sunny.
I just say, just read my notes and do your best with what you can. Just try your best to interpret them. That's what I'm going to say. See if you can figure out where this is going.
I'm going with the crazy version. That's funnier.
Okay, works for me.
All right, so Riku reveals he's not actually Riku anymore. He's been fully possessed by Ansem, who is now the one in control. He explains he needs Kairi's heart to complete the keyhole to Kingdom Hearts and access his power. And that's Kairi's heart has been inside of Sora all along because it took shelter there after the islands were destroyed. So, okay, he tries to stick his Keyblade into the heart of Sora and take her heart back, but Sora, he fights back and wins, so he's fine now. He needs to lock the keyhole to Kingdom Hearts, but he can't until Kingdom Hearts is complete. So he impales himself with Riku Ansem's Keyblade to free Kairi's heart, but this causes Sora to lose his own heart and turns into a Heartless. Now, keep in mind, this will be very important later. Very important. I'm sticking it up here. Donald and Goofy, meanwhile, they show up, escape with Kairi. Meanwhile, Heartless Sora, who still retains Sora's memories, unlike the other Heartless, but not his heart, but follows him to the exit. When they see Sora, they don't recognize him at first, but when Kairi does, she embraces him to protect him from the other Heartless, and the power of Kairi's heart turns him
he cut out.
Sora. And then they escape from the...
Oh, he's cutting out. You're cutting out. Okay.
Oh, no.
I'll just summarize what got cut out there. You said...
Regrouping from the Freddy Fazbear gang. Sora's a special moment with Kairi. She gives him a good luck charm and flies through a wormhole, which leads to Hollow Bastion, so they can seal the keyhole. But then Ansem is there.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay, stop. Okay. We need to take a breather here. If you continue with this pace for the entire rest of the video, everyone's going to lose their minds. I can barely understand what you're saying.
That was already going to happen. Fine. You want me to do storyteller version?
Sure, let's do that. But here, let's back up. You got cut out there. I think we need to get back on track. Let me just summarize what got cut.
It opens and it melts from all the goodness. That's tough. Then we find out it's a door venting evil fast, but it was filled with light and stuff.
This episode's an absolute dumpster fire.
And that's the basic premise of my game. No questions, please.
Are you done?
Okay. What cut out?
So basically, the part where Kairi embraced Sora, and then her heart turned him back into the normal Sora. They escape to Traverse Town, and then I think it picked up where you said they fly through a wormhole back to Hollow Bastion. So yeah. So there you go. You can go from there. Do the storyteller voice, because that other one's getting really grating, if I'm honest.
I don't know. Ansem retreats to the end of the world, which is made of fragments of all the worlds taken by the Heartless. Sora and crew go through the keyhole to confront him. They fight their way to the world's core, fighting the literal devil on the way. Okay.
Yeah, they
Ansem
fight
intends to
Chernabog
open
from
the door to
Fantasia.
darkness and access Kingdom Hearts, which is a door and also a moon. The world's core is made of fragments of Destiny Islands. The gang fights Ansem and wins. Then Sora fights him alone for some reason, even though they already won. Then he fights him again. Then he fights him again. Then he fights him again, but as a giant battleship. Once Ansem is finally defeated, he asks Kingdom Hearts to give him power with its darkness, but Fora is like, no way bro, Kingdom Hearts is light. The door opens and Ansem is obliterated by a beam of light. Then Mickey Mouse shows up and says that he and Sora must seal the door to darkness from both sides. Riku is also there, and on the other side of the door with Mickey, back in control of his body. Or is he? They seal the door, trapping Mickey and Riku in the realm of darkness. While Sora is left in the void, now that Mickey is gone, Disney's primary IP license expires and they collapse into entropy. The destroyed worlds are rebuilt after this, and Sora and Kairi must say goodbye. As she is being sent back to Destiny Islands, Sora promises to find her. For some reason, he can't just go to the islands. We have to make more games, I guess.
Yeah,
Sora and Donald and Goofy appear in a strange field following a path. The Elysian Fields. Not actually, it's the realm between. They decide to keep looking for their friends, but don't know where to start. Then Pluto the dog is here, from King, who I think is Mickey, and they follow him at the end. Now
He's got a
Chain of
letter.
Memories happens.
Yeah, now we're on to Chain of Memories. Any questions about the first Kingdom Hearts?
Oh, sure.
What do you think? Make sense?
Tell me why answer me.
Oh my god, you're cutting out again.
Kyrie, why is the princess human if the mouse is king?
Okay, wait, so are these actual questions you have, or are you just quoting another stupid song?
How are you here? It's the same song, man.
Oh, that's great.
Alright, anyways.
So do you have any actual questions, or is this all making sense so far?
Whatever, it's just Disney characters, and there's an Ansem, and he wants the evil Kingdom Hearts, and a bunch of weird stuff happens, then he dies, and then they seal the thing, but he's probably not really dead. I know there's a council of Xehanorts that happens later or something, so see how that works.
Yeah, anyways, so do you want to keep going, or should I pick up from here?
Oh, it's fine, you go for a bit.
Okay, we'll just trade off. I'll try to make this as interesting as possible. Don't be afraid to cut in with questions. Just keep this from being just me talking for 30 minutes straight. Alright. Chain of Memories. This one's basically a spin-off. It is the sequel to Kingdom Hearts, but it was released for the Game Boy Advance, and kind of just mostly serves to set up the sequel, set up Kingdom Hearts 2. But there's also where things start to get kind of complicated. So let's dive in. Game begins where the last one ended.
This is where it starts to get complicated.
Well, this is where, yeah, kind of. It's where it gets...
You gotta love that, like, all this, to follow this entire series, you have to own, like, the entire Nintendo console library to play all the games.
Well, no,
and
they
also
actually...
some other systems.
For the longest time, that's how it was. No, the first game was on PS2. Chain of Memories was on Game Boy Advance. Sorry, 1 second. Alright, oh my god. Sorry, my wife keeps texting me. Anyways, so yeah, second game came out for Game Boy Advance. They did later remake it for PlayStation 2. Kingdom Hearts 2 was on PlayStation 2. There was like a couple for the DS, one for the PlayStation Portable, one for 3DS. But before Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, they released collections that had all the games for either PlayStation 4 or, Xbox. They actually released it for Xbox. Now you can even get it on PC, which is interesting. And I guess the Switch version's coming too. So yeah. Anyways, let's keep going. So this game begins where the last one ended. Sora's voice is conspicuously deeper, though, because they recorded this. They recorded the dialogue for this one after Kingdom Hearts 2, so Haley Joel Osment, who does the voice for Sora, was a lot older. So even though he still looks like Sora from Kingdom Hearts 1, he sounds like Sora from Kingdom Hearts 2, which is very weird and distracting, but you get used to it. Anyways, they come to a crossroads, and they don't know which way to go, and then a mysterious hooded man, who we later learn is actually Marluxia, appears and says, "Along the road ahead is something you need. However, in order to claim it, you must lose something dear to you." Can you read that next line for me? Because you would do it a lot better than me. The one I'm highlighting.
What does it mean?
Yeah, there you go. The crossroads become one path that leads to Castle Oblivion. They enter the castle and suddenly find that they've forgotten all their abilities, which is just a convenient way of resetting his power so that you're not,
Oh gosh, are they doing the stupid?
They do it every time.
Are we doing the baggy stealing? Oh look, it's a new game. You have no weapons and experience points.
Yep, basically. They come up with an
Doom
excuse for each game.
Problem. When you play the next game, you just start with all the stuff.
Yeah, God of War 2 also did that, actually. The original God of War, not the new one. But yeah, anyways.
The new one where he's Logan.
Sure. Anyways, they forgot all their abilities. The hooded man appears again and tells them that the deeper they go into the castle, the more memories they will lose. But do you want to read that next line?
Oh. Yeah.
You don't have to.
Oh,
I just
no,
thought you might have some fun with it.
It's, to lose is to gain, and to gain is to lose.
Yeah.
What the hell does that even mean?
Yeah. That's actually a pretty good impression of Marluxia, by the way. I know you don't even have any idea who Marluxia is, but...
Who's Marluxia?
He's the guy with pink hair.
The hooded man, that's all I know.
He's one of the many hooded men in this series, but he's the one with pink hair that looks like a woman and also carries a massive scythe.
All the hooded man council who apparently caused all the problems, but then they're all Xenonord, I guess.
Kind of. Also, we're over the 30-minute mark. Should we cut for a quick ad break?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Behold, my I don't careinator!
All right. Recording's going.
I'm sweaty, knees weak, I'm sketty, vomit, sweat already, mom's sketty, nervous.
Beautiful. Should we keep going? You ready to keep going on this party? All right. So.
You know, the next time I see you, I have a certain gesture I'd like to share.
That's great. I can't wait. Anyways, the mysterious man, right, creates a deck of cards from Sora's memories and tells him they are the key to progressing through Castle Oblivion, which basically is just a way to...
Are these the MacGuffins you have to collect through the game?
No, these are basically the way you play the entire game. So he gives you world cards, which you use a world card at a door to determine which world you're going to be exploring next. And the worlds are all worlds that you've explored before. So it's basically you're exploring the memories of all the worlds from the first game. And then you also get ability cards.
New levels.
You what?
So they didn't have to make new levels.
Yeah, basically. It's basically... They wanted... I guess my take on it is they wanted to make a Kingdom Hearts game for the Game Boy Advanced, but they didn't want to just remake the first game, so they came up with a unique game, but also didn't want to put too much effort into it. Anyways, the card mechanics are actually kind of fun, but they are very problematic. There's plenty of videos talking about that, so I'm not going to waste time on it. But yeah, basically you also get... What now?
No, you wanted to do this. You wanted to go through all the Kingdom Hearts, so now you got to talk about all of it. What's the card mechanics?
Well, this is the
why
story.
Do they suck, apparently?
I was trying to talk about the story, not necessarily the gameplay. But I mean, if you insist.
No, you brought it up.
All right, so yeah.
It up.
So basically,
I insist.
I'm trying. Now you're interrupting me. So basically, all of your abilities are represented by cards. You get like attack cards that represent you swinging your Keyblade. You get like spell cards and other stuff. You have to scroll through a deck of cards while you're fighting.
What kind of games are these? Are these turn-based RPGs or are they third-person attack?
They're okay. So most of them are third-person like action RPGs. I can't think of a game you've played that. I can't think of any games you've played that would have been like it. But it's real time. This one is also real time, but instead of
the Knights of the Old Republic, is it like that game?
No, that's kind of turn-based.
Where they have to select characters and then put in inputs, but it's three-dimensional.
It's not like that at all.
Like that.
No, you only control Sora. Your other party members kind of just control themselves, but you can like kind of customize how they act. But yeah, you only control Sora. You move around 3D. You attack. You dodge. You block. You do all that stuff. This game though, you use cards instead. So the cards essentially, every card represents an attack. You have a deck of cards that you scroll through while you're fighting. It's still in real time.
Which card represents ice cream?
That's not
Which
here
card
yet.
represents ice cream with friends, which is apparently the most important thing in this universe.
No, that's only in one game. But anyways, that's kind of how the cards work. The problem with it is
I
that
believe the ice cream is key.
Yeah, well, the problem is that the game relies way too much on like RNG. Basically, which cards you get is entirely up to luck. So you can kind of get entirely stuck for a while because you don't get the right cards to progress, or you can be given such powerful cards that you basically can just break the game immediately and remove all the challenge. And depending on how lucky you get will entirely determine how much fun you have. I don't know. Story-wise, I like this game quite a bit. Gameplay-wise, it's kind of iffy.
I'll just watch the cutscene movie.
I didn't even think you would do that, but anyways,
No,
yeah. You get the cards. The first one you go to is Traverse Town, which kind of just serves as the tutorial world. You go through, and then you get there's this big moral dilemma of, well, these people are just memories. They're not real people, but should they be treated like real people? And this path of thought goes absolutely nowhere because Sora is just so good it's annoying, and he just decides they're all real people, and he's going to treat them like real people. They don't explore any of the complicated nuances of that. But, whatever. So throughout the game...
the point of memory?
The what?
What's even the point of bringing it?
Oh, that'll come up later.
It's a...
you're cutting out again. Oh, no.
Oh, it will?
You cut out a little bit. Anyways, so yeah, no, the chain of memory, that kind of comes up later. Yeah, no, it does. It is significant. But throughout the game, you get glimpses of this blonde girl drawing in a notebook, and you don't know who she is. But yeah, basically, you ascend the castle, one world per floor.
Ansem.
You don't meet Ansem yet, but you killed Ansem in the last game, sort of.
He's not here yet. I thought Ansem wasn't until the second game, and that the Riku is Ansem. Wait.
We'll get to that.
Oh, no.
Don't worry. Don't ask questions that haven't even come up yet.
Oh, no.
You're just going to confuse yourself worse. But yeah, Sora climbs the castle. Along the way, you fight more hooded figures who are revealed to be nobodies and members of the organization. Specifically, you fight Larxene, who is so Marluxia is basically the one in charge of Castle Oblivion. Larxene is her assistant. Yeah. Her and Marluxia and Larxene are basically trying to take over the organization using Sora. More on that later. Vexen is a scientist who creates the replicas. More on that later. Lexaeus is just a guy with a big sword. Zexius is a guy with a spellbook. And Axel is the spiky-haired dude with the fire powers that you eat ice cream with in the other game. He's actually working...
Which girl turns into 7 monsters?
None of them. Anyways, Sora keeps climbing. You fight her. More on that later, I guess. I don't know. Sora keeps climbing. He loses more memories.
More on that later one more time.
You're going to hear that a lot. You are going to hear a lot of more on that later in this. I'm sorry for that. But yeah, Sora keeps climbing. As he climbs, he loses more memories, especially memories about Kairi, and he finds that they're actually being replaced by memories of Naminé, which is the blonde girl that we keep seeing. Naminé, Larxene...
She's rewriting the world to put herself in Kairi's place because she's jealous.
Kind of. It's a little more complex than that, but that's kind of the gist of it. Yeah, she is screwing with Sora's memories, so it's not actually the castle, it's Naminé that's been goofing with his memories. She's erasing the memories of Kairi, replacing them with her, so now he believes that it's Kairi that he promised to protect, that it's Naminé he promised to protect, not Kairi. Larxene tells him that Naminé is being held prisoner in the castle, which, provokes Sora to keep going, working into their hands, basically. They want to use Sora to overthrow the organization, and they're using Naminé to manipulate him. That's kind of the gist of their plan. But Sora runs into the replica version of Riku. So yeah, there's a clone version of Riku running around this castle that believes he's the real Riku, and also is blindly driven to protect Naminé because he's also had his memories messed with. You still following? I'll take that as a yes.
So they go to the castle. So they have they have Pluto, where they go to the castle.
No, Pluto's not here anymore.
It's like they follow Pluto. Sora's voice is deeper. They go to a castle. The castle's erasing his memory. It turns out it's actually a blonde fangirl who wants to be his girlfriend, but she's also hooking up with Riku, who's actually a clone. And where the clone, I don't know, come from. There's also some other guys who are hooded guys and nobody. And somebody named Vexen is in there at some point.
Yeah, basically. So yeah, Axel shows up then and frees Naminé, deciding because
who's Axel?
So he's this red spiky hair, the guy with the red spiky hair. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that guy. He shows up. He's actually a double agent. Marluxia and Larxene think that he's working with them, but he's actually loyal to Xemnas and is trying to take down traitors within the organization.
Who's Xemnas?
Xemnas is the leader of the organization.
The organization is just called
organization?
Well, it's actually the Organization 13, but they don't get called
yeah,
that until the
'cause
next
that's
game.
funny.
But Axel frees Naminé so that she can meet Sora
When
in
do I get
person.
real Riku back? Why is there a clone Riku?
Oh, stay tuned. All will be answered in time.
Are you sure? Because as
Most
far
of
as
it.
everyone told me, Kingdom Hearts 3 apparently sucked.
No, actually, that's not at all what people
I heard
thought.
that the ending was bad.
Some people said that, but the people that most of the people that said that were people that didn't actually follow the games through their entirety. It didn't have all the context you needed to really understand the ending. I don't know. They made Kingdom Hearts 3 for the fans, so people that weren't diehard fans of Kingdom Hearts were probably a little frustrated with it. A lot of people just played Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3 and thought they could get the full story and were sorely disappointed. I'm not one of those people. I loved Kingdom Hearts 3. I guess that's a minor spoiler for my thoughts on the game. Naminé, basically Axel lets Naminé meet Sora. She finally reveals that it's been her messing with her memories. She feels real bad about it because Marluxia has basically been exploiting her loneliness, making her do that.
Marluxia. Wait. So
What?
Marluxia is using Naminé to erase his memories so that he can break into the castle, which somehow gives the 13 dudes ultimate power?
No, they want to use... So Marluxia's in control of the castle, and he wants Sora... He basically wants Sora to work for them, because Sora's powerful, right? He's got the Keyblade and everything. They want him to take out Xemnas, and they're using Naminé to make him do what they want.
Okay.
It's basically the thing where if people... Xemnas isn't actually in this game.
Oh!
He's the leader, though. He's like the one behind... He's the one in charge of the entire organization, but he's not the lead. He doesn't actually make an appearance in this game.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So then
is
Sora...
Mickey Mouse still locked in a land of dead?
Yes, he is still trapped in the realm of darkness right now. More on that later. Naminé is actually a nobody of Kairi. Yeah, so that's another reveal. Naminé is actually a nobody of Kairi. So she was created when Sora stabbed himself right in the first game and released Kairi's heart.
Put this in the Discord real quick.
Oh, good. Ooh, goody. What is it? Oh, is that our ad break?
Yes, but also it applies right now.
Oh, beautiful. Well, people that have heard the ad break will know exactly what you're referring to once I finish putting this video together. Anyways, so Naminé is actually a nobody of Kairi. She was created when Sora released her heart, right? Makes sense?
I'm sorry, what are the nobodies? Are the nobodies the shadows? I thought...
So, okay.
How do Heartless work?
So, okay, I was going to explain this all later, but I guess now is a good time. So, the Heartless... Okay, so the Heartless, when the Heartless are kind of like created from the darkness, right? When they take somebody's heart, that heart becomes a new Heartless, and the body left behind becomes a nobody.
All right.
The nobodies, right? It's a nobody of a particularly powerful person.
Wait, hold on. So the nobodies, why are the names reversed?
I know, it's a little... Yeah, the Heartless are actually just made of a heart.
Which are the disembodied souls are called the Heartless, whereas the body that's left without a heart is called the Nobody, even though it would seem like the soul should be called the Nobody because it's out of the body, and the Heartless should be the body that has no heart?
I think maybe they're being ironic. Maybe it's also just a difference in translations.
Maybe they're just trying to be intentionally obtuse so they can act like it means something.
Maybe. I think the real reason is that they kind of just made this up as they went. The Heartless sounded like a good name for those enemies in the first game, and then when they came up with the concept of the Nobodies later, they'd already used the name Heartless. Yeah. I don't know. Don't overthink it. If you
overthink... I'm thinking it even a little bit, and it already doesn't make sense.
Okay, well...
Kingdom Hearts is like one of the most famous kudzu plots of all time, and now you're trying to explain me, an uninitiated, the whole thing.
Yeah, and that was the whole premise of this episode. But just don't get hung up on the names. That's what I'll say. Yes, there is a lot confusing, but the names are just names. Don't get hung up on those.
Dude, the names are just the last straw.
Okay, sure. I'll settle for that. But yeah, the nobodies are basically, they're made from the bodies left behind. If it's a powerful person, the nobody will retain the appearance and memories of the actual human. So I guess to answer your question, the nobodies are closer to the actual person than the Heartless, but neither of them are actually the real person. What was that?
But the Heartless is the soul.
Yeah, but once it's turned into a Heartless, it's just like a mindless being that consumes more hearts.
Okay, so Sora stabbed her in the heart.
No, he stabbed himself, because remember, Kairi's heart was trapped inside of him, right?
Still a nobody?
Yeah, so Sora's heart was trapped. So that's why Naminé is such a special nobody. She wasn't created under normal circumstances. Normally what would have happened is Kairi would have lost her heart, and then she would have become a nobody, and her heart would become a Heartless. but because Kyrie's heart took shelter in Sora, which will be explained later, basically Sora, like, it took shelter there. She didn't become a Heartless, and then since when her heart was released, it didn't, I don't know, it basically, since it was released from Sora instead of from her, it created Naminé, and that gives her the ability to...
Why was the heart inside of Sora again?
took shelter in him when their world was destroyed. That will be explained later. The reason that happened is explained later.
When did the world get destroyed? That was back in the first game, right?
Yeah, that was at the beginning of the first game when Destiny Islands was destroyed.
She got blown up and her soul went into Sora.
Yes.
But then she takes the soul out, and now there's still a body somewhere, even though her body got blown up?
No, the body didn't get... Her body never got blown up. In the first game, it was just her comatose body, but the Naminé is the nobody, which is actually not... It's not physically their body. I don't know. You really need to just kind of...
I'm going to retain none of this. I hope you realize.
I'm okay with that. It's just for comedic...
It's going to be fragmented knowledge that's just going to be added to my other pool of fragmented knowledge. I'm going to remember the donkey video better than I remember this conversation.
I'm good with that. You know what? That's it works. Let's move on. We're getting way too hung up on the little things. So,
Oh, these are the little things.
Yes. I meant to make a list at the beginning of things that exist in the Kingdom Hearts universe. I forgot to do that, but I guess I'll do it now. There is data clones, virtual reality worlds. There is time travel.
Yeah.
Just to name a few things that come up later. Alternate timelines. Was that you vomiting, or was that... What was that?
Was me burping. I burped.
Oh, beautiful. Anyway, so Naminé meets up with Sora, explains all of the stuff about how she's messing with his memories, and that she's actually a nobody of Kyrie. Marluxia is planning to manipulate Sora to help.
Okay, so Naminé is actually a Kyrie, and so she's not jealous because she is Kyrie.
Not exactly. No, she's not actually Kyrie. She's created from Kyrie, but she isn't Kyrie. She's still her own person.
Oh, that's great.
Anyways, Sora wants to protect Naminé because... Okay, so this is the part where Sora's just being stupid. He didn't actually promise Naminé...
It's easier to understand than this.
Great. Well, Sora didn't actually promise Naminé he would protect her, but since he remembers that he did, it's still a real promise to him, apparently, and he decides he's going to protect her anyways. He climbs to the top floor and confronts Marluxia. You have a big epic final boss battle. And also, just as a quick side note, all the other members who appeared in this game, except for Axel, were killed. Sora killed Larxene and Marluxia. Axel absolutely annihilates Vexen. I put a note there. Go look up that cutscene. It's brutal and hilariously mean-spirited when he kills Vexen.
Who kills Vexen?
Axel kills Vexen.
Axel kills...
You don't have to look it up right now, but it's just hilariously mean-spirited.
I'm already looking it up right now.
Okay, well...
He has green eyes.
While you watch that, I'll keep talking. Riku kills Lexaeus and Zexion. That happens later, though.
Vexen the...
What now?
All these names are made up.
Yeah, just don't worry. It's really not that important who they are right now. They're just know that they're members of the organization who are now dead.
I can't track this story.
After that,
good at tracking things, but trying to understand this one.
Well, if you played the game yourself, it'd be a little easier. But yeah, afterwards, Naminé offers to restore Sora.
This game is impossible. This series is like impossible to understand. There's like no way to explain it without sounding like a crazy person.
Oh yeah, you're right. But that's half the fun. So anyways, after all this happens, Naminé offers to restore Sora and the gang's memories. So that's like Sora, Donald, and Goofy, who have all had their memories messed with. She offers to restore their memories, but it means they'll forget everything that happened in Castle Oblivion. They agree to do it, and they get placed in giant pods and put to sleep while she sorts out their memories. And that's where
the digital... Is that where the digital universe game happens?
No. That's different.
Hold on.
We'll get to that one.
Watch this. I got Vexen's on the ground here.
Oh, yeah. Have fun.
But
so, yeah.
when the audio is playing, I'm not going to be able to hear you very well, so I'm going to see what happens.
All right. I'll just sit here and drink water.
I'm talking too much. Relating your existence. No. Don't do it. There's nobodies who have no one to be, yet we still are. Now we can be nothing instead of just being a nobody. You're off the hook. No, please don't! Goodbye. Why did he snapped and then he burst into flame?
Axel has control over fire. He's like a firebender, basically.
What are you people?
Yeah, that's what Sora said.
Awkward silence.
Yep, there you go. So that's how Vexen dies. It's hilarious.
Don't know.
Or is
What
it?
about them?
I don't know.
So-
Maybe I'm just a
Then he's
psychopath.
gone. Just Vexen. I'm sure Vexen shows up later.
They all do. None of them actually
And
really
he's actually
die.
Xehanort.
No, he's not actually Xehanort.
How many characters are Xehanort?
13 roughly.
There's 13 Xehanorts.
Xehanort, first of all.
Also, why? Nope, too late, man. Xehanort. Why
don't
is
care.
one of them called Xeno Douglas? That sounds made up, but
There is no
apparently it's
Xeno
real.
Douglas. No, there is no Xeno Douglas. I don't know where you heard that.
I've heard it before.
Okay, I'm looking.
Apparently that's real.
Was it Xeno Douglas or Zaya Douglas?
Probably mispronounced. But pronouncing it.
Well, I was trying to look it up too, but then I accidentally pushed the power button on my keyboard. Xeno Douglas. Oh, here we go. Xeno Douglas.
Also, compound.
Oh, he's from Xenoblade. Xeno Douglas is from
So
an
it is-
entire. What? You just cut out really
It is
bad.
real.
Well, he is real, but he's from.
Somebody that's-
Well, it sounds like he's
Oh,
real, but he's
God,
not.
why?
He's real, but he's not from Kingdom Hearts.
You
Okay,
sure?
are you satisfied?
No.
All right. Well, anyways, so yeah, basically that's where.
Break. Give me a break. Break me off a piece of that fancy feast.
All right, so that's where that game ends, but not really, because there's actually, after you complete the main game, you unlock the Reverse Rebirth side story, where you play as the real Riku, not the replica Riku.
Oh, is this DLC or what?
No, it's not DLC. It's just a secret. It's just basically a second story. It's a shorter story, but it's a second bonus story you unlock after completing the main game. But it's also just as essential to the main plot. So we're gonna keep going. Basically, it starts with Riku. He's still trapped in the realm of darkness, and he gets pulled into the Castle Oblivion and finds himself at the bottom level of the castle, like the lowest level basement.
But is Riku a good guy yet again? Did he become a good guy? By the
Yeah,
end of the
so
first game?
so at the end of the first game, yeah, he kind of makes a
Bad
comment.
guy?
What? So he was
Was
never
he
really
even a bad guy to begin with?
Not exactly. He was kind of just misguided. He got manipulated into accepting the darkness, and then Ansem used him as a host. So Riku himself was not really a bad person, but he basically spends the rest of the series trying to atone for what he did in the first game, which actually makes for a pretty cool character arc. I hated him in the first game because he was an absolute dick, but he ends up being one of my favorite characters.
Just like Murtag.
Yeah. Anyways, he starts fighting his way up from Castle Oblivion, or he's got to fight his way to the top and escape, basically. But along the way, he fights Vexen, and this is where Vexen gets the data to create the Riku replica. And yeah, Vexen. Oh yeah, Vexen is also working for Xemnas. That's why he makes the replica. He uses it to try to stop Marluxia's plan. But yeah, basically throughout Riku's journey, he fights an inner battle against Ansem. So basically, Ansem still exists within his heart and is trying to take control of his body again, but King Mickey kind of keeps appearing as a voice throughout the game and is able to keep Ansem at bay using light magic or something. I don't really know.
Is Mickey also Ansem?
No, no, Mickey is not. He's closer to being Sora than he is Ansem, but he's neither. He's just Mickey. Also, so then basically Riku also fights Alexeus and Zexion, who are just a couple of other organization members that they fight. But during his fight with Zexion, Naminé helps Riku control his inner darkness, and he uses it to beat Zexion. So that's kind of cool. And then Riku meets a new character, a man named Diz, who has been messing with him, pretending to be Ansem, and testing his. Basically, Diz is testing his resistance to the darkness because he needs his help later. More on that later. But the Riku replica decides it wants to be his own person, so he tries to kill the real Riku to justify his own existence, but Riku kills him instead. Big oof. Naminé then offers to fix Riku's memory to lock away Ansem, but Riku instead decides he needs to basically confront Ansem himself. So then Diz gives Riku a black coat to protect himself from darkness. That's what the organization members wear. And gives him a card that he can use to enter the next room of the castle and confront Ansem. Riku does, he wins, and basically seals away Ansem inside of him for good, at least for now. And after that, Riku and Mickey meet up in person. Mickey also gets a cool black robe, and they go back outside to the crossroads, and Diz asks them whether Riku is going to follow the road to light or dark, and Riku chooses the middle road, the road to dawn. And that's actually the end of the game now.
Turns out Sora's friend Riku is actually possessed by Ansem, who is actually Xehanort, who got transformed into a Shadow Man 300 years ago. Not to be confused with Ansem the Wise, who is a different guy, and he's dead now, but not actually.
Yeah, that's actually really accurate. Where are you reading that?
That's a quote from Donkey's video about Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, no, that's all actually true. Anyways,
that's where Zeno Douglas came from. According to the comments on this video, the only actual jokes is that a part of the game is a dream sequence from Tigger, and that Pumbaa is the master. Apparently, those are the only two jokes, which led me to believe, oh, okay, so Zeno Douglas is an actual character.
No, unless he's probably calling someone else Zeno Douglas. I don't know which one. Anyways, so we're almost at the hour mark.
Apparently, Zeno Douglas is like a younger clone. No, we keep going.
Well, I was gonna say, this would be a good place to break the episode. But
Stephen King once wrote that nightmares exist outside of logic, and there's little fun to be had in explanations. They're antithetical to the poetry of fear. In a horror story, the victim keeps asking why, but
what
there
are
can
you
be
doing?
no explanation, and there shouldn't be one. The unanswered mystery is what stays with us the longest, and what we'll remember in the end. My name is Alan Wake. I'm a writer.
Okay, excuse me?
What?
What was that?
No, keep going. What? I didn't say anything.
So, okay, I was just going to say, this would be a good...
So apparently young Xehanort is the guy he's calling Zeno Douglas.
Oh, yeah,
but
no,
it's like
young Xehanort.
Clone version or something.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Anyways, so I was going to say, we're up to about an hour. We're between games, so this would be a good place to split the episode if we're making this a two-parter. What say you?
No, that's fine. We can keep going a little longer.
Okay, one more game, and then we'll split the episode. Sound good?
No, because if we split the episode, then this will take like 3 or 4 episodes to get through.
Fair enough.
We're
so maybe
only on page 5 of your notes.
Yeah.
No, hold on. No, wait. Yeah, we're only on page 5.
Yeah. So my plan
oh my gosh,
was.
this is gonna take 4 episodes. Okay, I should just read through the rest of the thing. I can get through it faster.
Okay,
It'll
wait.
make just as much sense.
Okay, stop. Hold on. Let's cut the episode here. We can keep recording, but I think we should break this into more than one episode just so we don't have to. Also, so I don't have to process a 4-hour video. That would take years.
So wait, does that mean that like the next 4 episodes are just gonna be Kingdom Hearts?
Well, I was going to suggest maybe breaking up the release order. I'd say let's just keep going and record as much as we can today, but then we can release them in a different order. We don't have to make everyone listen to 4 episodes straight of Kingdom Hearts. I don't know. We can figure that out later, but I think we should probably keep the episodes in an hour length, both for ease of editing and for ease of listening. So... All right. Well, I'm gonna. Let's just begin the exit spiel. We'll. All right. Yeah. Email in the description. realplaceholderpodcast@gmail.com. Send us fan mail. Send us fan mail. Tell us to get real jobs. And since he's moaning in agony, I'll say it's over. Oh, good, you did. It's over. Bye.